YouTube? It's your boy Iceman Guru, aka Dr. J, back at you with another installment on the High Frequency Only channel. Um, let's just get right into it, man. So the question slash topic for today is: should infidelity be a reason to end the relationship? Let me repeat it. Should infidelity be a reason to end the relationship? And of course, this is a very hot button topic. We could say controversial. Um, it's been discussed in not only the African American community, but also just the nation in general and large. But I think it's a nuanced conversation because it's twofold. On one hand, you have it being gender based because men and women look at infidelity different, and we'll get into that here in a second. But then we also have a classism part to it, a classist part, and we'll also get into that in a second. But before I get into both of those, I want to discuss the numbers behind cheating or infidelity. Now, so according to the research, and of course this is due to surveys, people that actually self-report now. So that's a whole nother issue. Okay, so we know that a lot of people are probably not comfortable with saying that they actually cheated in a relationship. Okay, so we have to keep that in mind. But the numbers are kind of all over the place for cheating. So we know that between 20 to 40% of marriages end because of cheating. Okay, a different number when it comes to relationships. So we look at between about 15 to 40% when it comes to people actually self-reporting that's cheating. Now, there's also a number between men and women that's 24% women, 28% men. So the numbers are all over the place. Okay, who knows what the correct number? It is, of my opinion, being that the numbers are all over the place. I believe that there is a lot of people that are not actually reporting or willing to talk about the fact that they cheated based on how it may make them look, whether or not they brand conscious, self-conscious, whatever the case may be. So I believe that number is mid to low 40s of people that's cheat. And of course, we're probably looking at high 30% for women, mid to low 40% for men, because I think there's always going to be a 5 to 7 point difference. But I think it's more common than the numbers are actually stating, and I think the reason for that, those large gaps, when we look at 24%, is due to just people not being comfortable that saying that, hey, I've cheated, I've dipped out, so regardless of confidentiality or what have you, some people are just not comfortable. And of course, everybody's not getting surveyed, so you just can't account for all the numbers. But let's go back to the two different conversations that we have about infidelity. And I think this will help kind of paint the picture of if people should actually be ending relationships because of infidelity. Okay, so let's start with gender first. So we know that men look at cheating a little bit different because for the most part, men are protectors, providers. They actually are the ones that are providing financially, protecting. They're giving their all. When a man truly loves a woman and is rocking with a woman, he gives his all to a woman. Okay, so if he finds out that same woman is actually cheating on him, that trust is broken, the loyalty is there, because a man want a loyal woman. Okay, particularly if he's providing and upgrading this woman's life. So it's devastating for a man, and relationship over. Okay, that is why I say it's different for a man. So to answer the question for a man, is it a deal breaker in a relationship? For a man, yes, because we just have a different role. Now, for a woman, and some people might not agree with this, it's a little bit different. Okay, because it has been historically known throughout time that men will have multiple women, not only just because there are more women than men, but also because different situations when it came to war, people lose their lives, they take on another family. Of course, this is going on not in the Western world, but of course in other countries. We're talking about pre modern times, all right? Um, or even in our modern times, okay? The reason why there is a high amount of people that are actually stepping out of their relationships is because, let's just be honest, it's been more socially accepted for men. Whether he has money or not. And we're going to get to that other conversation when it comes to class here in a minute. But it's been more socially acceptable. There are more women than men. We do have situations where we have polygamous situation, but even in monogamous situation, a lot of men do step out because it is a biological component there with men. It just naturally, men love to pursue women. Okay. Now, even for the men that will get on board with monogamy and say, "Hey, I want to choose you," whether it's to have kids or not, or to split the bills, or to do whatever with. I choose you because I want to lock you up. Even a lot of men have that mentality. Okay, I'm gonna lock you down, but I'm still gonna play. Okay. Now, that really irks women, but that has always been the case for a lot of men. All right. So, which actually leads to the next part, which being class. It would be, or it is, more socially acceptable if that high value man or that man has a lot of money and he has multiple women. A woman is more likely to stay in that situation because she understands what that man provides. She understands that that man is rare. Go back to the video I did on men on the prize. The reason why men are the prize is because they are the ones that actually changing women's lives, not vice versa. You're not gonna find many women that's taking a man out of poverty and then putting them up in the hill somewhere. You just don't see that. Okay, so from a gender and a class perspective, you're looking at, okay, well, people are weighing it from a cost benefit perspective. Okay, if I leave him just because he stepped out, will I be able to replace his production? Because at the end of the day, it's about transactions, it's about business. We just got to be real with ourselves. And a lot of times we're just not being real about that conversation. It's easier now, particularly, and the reason why a lot of women do leave because of infidelity is because they feel like they can replace that man. But we also got to ask ourselves, how many women end up leaving a relationship over and over because of infidelity? Not saying that there are not men out there that want to actually be committed to you and want to be monogamous. I just believe that monogamy is a tough sell. Monogamy, in some instances, is not natural to men. Um, Monogamy is beneficial for a capitalist structure, and it doesn't benefit men overall when it comes to marriage and a relationship because we end up taking the burden and the brunt of if it goes well, if it doesn't go well. If it goes well, hey, we paying for a lot. We're paying most of the bills. We're paying when we go out on vacation, and she happy. If it don't go well, the kids being taken, house being taken, etc. So we carry the burden whether it goes well or whether it doesn't. So a woman is weighing this or whether or not she wants to leave. So it's almost like in some men mind, I can't speak for all men, that he thinking that, well, the least I can do is have some on the side. If I'm carrying all this weight, the least I can do is have some, you know, hey, it is what it is. But we also got to be real. I say, ladies, it's depending on that man. If he got enough money and you find out that he's smashing something on the side, hey, you already know. It's easy for a woman to leave a broke dude. And money is always a part of the conversation. It really is. But if we start having those conversations in the beginning, not every woman is going to be for a poly situation or going to even agree for, I know nowadays it's real popular to say hall pass. Now, all women are going to be down with that, but at the end of the day, we also understand that infidelity, cheating is not going anywhere. So I think at this point, we have to address and attack it from a standpoint of how can we live with it and it not be damaging to our communities? Can we get some agreement? Do we need to look at it from those different factors? Class, gender, okay? I mean, it's a conversation that needs to be had that definitely extends way beyond this video. But that takes men and women actually sitting down and having a conversation, because it's one of those things that's an elephant in the room and we like to sweep under the rug and a lot of dirt get done behind the scenes. I'm a proponent for having a conversation and not cause unnecessary trauma. But that takes a lot of maturity. It takes a lot of willpower. It takes us actually putting our nation first and saying what makes the most sense. Now, we might not come to an ideal situation. So again, that's why the question is broached of whether or not infidelity should be the reason why we leave in relationships. Because we got enough broken homes. We got enough situations where kids are not seeing one parent on a consistent basis. So can we curve that number? Can people get out their feelings enough to say, hey, this is in the betterment for the group, for the nation, versus me being selfish and say, hey. Because when it comes to cheating, it happens for different reasons. It goes back to gender. Well, we know and understand that women cheat for different reasons versus men. So if women are happy and they getting the world thrown at them, more than likely they're probably not cheating. Okay. Absenteeism probably caused some of that for women as well. But for the most part, women are pretty loyal. Now, men on the other hand, we just like to have, I mean, Chris Rock said it and many other people said, men are faithful to their options. You know? And the more money you have as a man, the more options you have. And we don't think anything about it. It's like, if I end up sleeping with this woman, I mean, I still love my woman. It was just a fling, you know, one night thing. So we view cheating differently. So is that a reason to destroy your marriage over one time? Or is it because it's multiple times? Like, we got to be able to have a conversation. And is it worth destroying the family? Okay. Hey, that's the end of the video. And like I said, we can definitely continue this conversation. There might even be a part 2 coming. You know, I love doing my series. You never know. But hey, I appreciate y'all support. Please subscribe, like the video, comment, give me suggestions, follow your boy on social media. The handles at the end of this video. As always, I am you, you are me. Love always, love eternal. And we out this thing. Peace.